Hello, a very warm welcome along to Sportsbet TV and our racing tipping service here with Paul Alster. It's great to have you back with us once again. If you're new to the service, we're all about trying to find big price winners and at least give you a run for your money with something at double figure odds. Also, if you're new to the service, remember to press the subscribe button just below this screen, as well as the bell icon that'll keep you updated with all our bulletins. And remember to share this recording as well with any friends who are interested in backing a winner at a decent price this weekend. Well, let me just tell you that first of all, last week, dreadful ground everywhere. There were quite a lot of non-runners. We only had the one horse eventually run for us, and that was Fernhill, who went particularly well for most of the way until he was let down three furlongs out after the third last at Doncaster, and he got stuck in the mud. It's a race that I don't think you can place too much store on. I think the result will be a little bit false, but he was well beaten, as were most of the fancied runners. It was all the rags that came through. And also on Saturday, Asa, with our other selection, was a non-runner. It means that at the end of January to our level stakes, £10 each way, or very rarely when I offer a win, £10 win, we showed a profit of £108. So that's terrific, isn't it? And it's the fourth month in a row that we've shown profit. In December it was a profit of £65 to level stakes. November, of course, was sensational, £793.25 to level stakes, and October £30.50. So, as they say in all those insurance adverts, past performance is no guide to future results, but we're very optimistic that we'll continue to show a profit overall and that we'll enjoy our racing with some decent priced horses. Now, there's lots of ground issues at the time of this recording on Friday lunchtime. We don't know whether Wetherby and Sandown are going to go ahead. They're scheduling a couple of the races that were lost at Cheltenham last week. The Cleve Hurdle, due to be at Sandown, and at Wetherby rather, and the Cotswold Chase at Sandown. So because they're both going to be run on desperate ground, I'm just not going to have any of it, and I'm not making any recommendations at those meetings. But there's plenty left. Great racing at Leopardstown with the Dublin Festival. I think there are 8 Grade 1s over 2 days and loads of amazing handicaps. There's also a fine card at Musselburgh and a very good all-weather card at Lingfield on Saturday afternoon. And it's to Lingfield that I'm going to take you first, because on Saturday at Lingfield in the 1:11 race, mark my words, 1:11, the 6 furlong Betway Catchy Stakes has attracted 9 runners now. I haven't tipped one on the flat for about 3 months, but this is an interesting race. It's been won twice in the last 3 years by Tom Dascombe, with Catchy himself, terrific all-weather sprinter who unfortunately is no longer with us. And no surprise to see Tom Dascombe trying to win the race named after the horse that he loves so much and did so well with. He runs Misty Grey, who's won a couple of 7 furlongs handicap and a 6 furlong handicap at Wolverhampton and is now rated 104. He'll probably find this much tougher, but I'm sure he'll go well. The highest rated horse in the field is Samagan for David O'Meara, who won the Stewards Cup, of course, at Goodwood last season. And he's got a good all-weather record too. He's 3 from 6, so he's very much respected, and he goes well fresh and returns from a break. There's also Aberama Gold for Scotland for Keith Dalgleish, very useful on the all-weather. He's won on artificial surfaces in November and December. And Fizzy Feet, who's really progressed this winter for David Loughnan, won a course and distance contest off 94 last time and is improving fast. But the horse that I'm interested in here is a horse who, of course, has quite a history. His name is Mum's Tipple, trained by Richard Hannon and the mount of Ryan Moore. You may remember this horse as a 2-year-old, causing a sensation. He won his first race, which was at Ascot, the Crooker Bilteel Maiden, and that's always a good race. He won that on debut. He beat Molathan, who then went on to win the Jersey Stakes the following season, so that is red-hot form. And then I'm sure many of you will remember that extraordinary performance at the York Ebor meeting, the big valuable sales race, when he carried top weight and won by 11 lengths. It was one of the most breathtaking performances from a 2-year-old in recent memory. And on the strength of that, he went on to run in the Middle Park Stakes. Group 1 was a 3-to-1 shot, ran well for a long way until tiring very suddenly at the furlong pole. It later transpired he'd gone lame, so he's excused that, of course. But like so many smart 2-year-olds, and I once owned a very good 2-year-old filly, so I speak from personal experience, they don't always train on to 3, or they just lose their way at 3, and this was the case with Mums Tipple. He was last of 15 on his seasonal reappearance, although it was in the 2,000 guineas and he didn't stay, so he had a genuine excuse. And then he ran in the Commonwealth Cup at Royal Ascot, only beat one home after showing a lot of pace on softish ground, which hasn't ever suited him. And then he was 8th of 12, dropped in grade in the Group 3 Hackwood Stakes at Newbury, again disappointing but showing speed. And he disappointed again on his last 4th and final start as a 3-year-old in the Garrowby Stakes at York, listed over 6 furlongs, only 8th of 9 there. So not surprisingly, Connections decided to geld him, and he hasn't been seen since the autumn. Now very often the gelding operation can really change the personality of a horse and also make them much more focused on racing. And I think this could be the case because so many horses as well that were good at 2 can come back after a season in the wilderness at 3 and become a revelation at 4. They can also not improve at all. So we're taking a chance here, but I think it's worth taking a chance on Mums Tipple. His first time on the all-weather. He's for a stable that do very well indeed, and Ryan Moore is superb jockey. And I'm just fascinated to see how he'll go first time back after the gelding as a 4-year-old, first time on the all-weather. If he's anywhere near his old form, even £8 within it, he'll probably win this, and he's gone very well fresh in the past. Now at the time of recording, there aren't too many firms pricing up. William Hill go 15-2, but Betway, who sponsor the race, go 12-1. And I think that's really good each way value. So I'm taking a chance here, a little bit each way, but to our standard stakes, 12-1 each way for Mums Tipple in the 1:11 race at Lingfield on Saturday. And let's hope he comes back to form. And then I'm going to switch back to the jumps. We'll take you to Musselburgh, the 2:05. That is the Scottish County Hurdle. They're betting 9-2 the field, a 10-runner race. And the ground is expected to be fairly decent, good to soft ground. The market will see, I'm sure, support for Paul Nicholls' Christopher Wood. Blakeney Point, who beat Voix de Rêve over course and distance last time out, and the pair should be thereabouts. And Harry Whittington's Torini is very interesting and unexposed. But making its debut for the Brian Ellison team, trained by Brian Ellison and ridden by Oakley Brown, who claims £7, is ASHINGTON, who's been a good horse in his time for John Quinn. Now he was beaten just half a length in this race last year by Sebastopol, who we followed a few times without success as it happens this season. But he'd also run well at the track previously when 3rd to Sir Chauvelin in a hot race. So I think there's every sign that ASHINGTON is a horse who saves his best for Musselburgh. Indeed, he won a course and distance novice hurdle in November 2019. Now this season has been very interesting indeed. He ran at Cheltenham and he was going like the winner in a red-hot handicap hurdle at the October meeting when a horse fell right in front of him and he was almost stopped in his tracks. Quite how he came back through to finish 3rd of 17, I don't know. It was a wonderful effort. And then at Doncaster last time out, in what was very sticky ground, he lost his place turning in, but then stayed on again in the closing stages for pressure. So he is a very genuine horse. Now very often a change of scene can make the difference. He's with the same owner, so the owner hasn't sold him, he's keeping faith. And Brian Ellison, a terrific trainer, dual purpose. And Oakley Brown, well, he's a young man going places. Now, I checked this out because the horse has got 10 stone 4 and then he's down to claim 7, which takes him down to 9.11. So far this season, Oakley Brown hasn't gone lower than 9 stone 12, but I'd take that if it's given. Just a pound overweight at 9 stone 12, a featherweight really. And I think he'll run very well indeed. So for me, ASHINGTON, with the best price at the time of this recording. And do remember, as always, to bet with a bookmaker who's going to give you the SP if it's bigger than the price you take. But 15-2 each way with Bet365, I think is good value, with others going only 13-2 or 6-1. So that is Ashington, each way 205 Musselburgh, Saturday afternoon. Now my next three selections are all at Leopardstown, two of them on Saturday and one on Sunday. And the remarkable thing about them all, and I didn't seek to do this because I look at every horse on its merits, is all three are owned by J.P. McManus. And if you don't know who J.P. McManus is, then I don't know where you've been the last however many years, but he's Ireland's most successful owner, breeder and gambler, and he always targets the big meetings, and he's had great success at this meeting over the years. Now, the first day on Saturday is just a cracker. They've got grade ones in the Dublin Chase with Jacques Soir against Min. They've got the Irish Arkle and the Irish Champion Hurdle with Honeysuckle against Sharjah. But I'm interested in handicaps for the most part. And in the 2:45 Saturdays, the Matheson Handicap Chase, which is a €100,000 contest over 2 miles 1 furlong. Now, I could run you through a whole load of these horses. I'm not going to bore you. There's so many have chances. The one thing that's puzzling me is the ground, because the Racing Post are suggesting it's yielding to soft, while the Sporting Live are saying it's heavy. So I prefer the Racing Post's assessment, and I hope they're right. And I think that will help a horse called A Wave of the Sea, who's trained by Joseph O'Brien and the mount of a very good Irish conditional rider, Simon Torrens, who claims £5. Now, this very meeting a year ago, A Wave of the Sea caused a surprise, winning the Grade 1 juvenile hurdle. So he's a horse who goes well at this time of year and also at this particular track. Now, he switched to fences this season. He won his second start over fences at Kilbeggan in September, then was third in a Grade 3 at Punchestown in October. He doesn't like really deep ground, so I'm really relying on this not being a bog, as the Sporting Live seem to think it will be. And this is a horse who, on Boxing Day, ran a very eye-catching 5th of 17 in a hot course and distance handicap. And for me, I watched the run that day. I was presenting an Irish commentary service, and I marked him down as a horse who has got his eyes on probably another target, and I suspect it is this one. He's ideally suited, as I say, by some giving the ground, but not too much. And he runs off 128 with the claim, and remember, this is a Grade 1 winning hurdler just 12 months ago. So I think that 5 places available with Betway at the time of this recording, 16-1 they're offering each way. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't go bigger. So expect him to go bigger. You can take the price as long as it's with a bookmaker who offers bigger. He could easily go, excuse me, 20-1, 25-1, who knows. And JP's got a whole battalion in the race. So that is A Wave of the Sea for Joseph O'Brien and Simon Torrens in the 2:45 each way Leopardstown on Saturday. And then later on, after the Irish Champion Hurdle on Saturday, is the Labrook Hurdle, 22 runners, a real cavalry charge over 2 miles, €125,000. And JP's got 6 in the race this time. But one horse I saw win last time out, and I thought to myself, this one is way ahead of the handicapper. Now, it has gone up in the weights. This is a race, by the way, in which they're betting 13-2 the field at the time of this recording, Advance Virgo. Charles Burns, who of course has been in all sorts of bother and is going to have his licence taken away, subject to the appeals or whatever is going on. He's won the race the last 3 years. But Willie Mullins runs 7 in the race. The great Willie Mullins has got 7. On its own, you wouldn't know which of the 7 definitively is the preferred choice. But I'm going with a horse called CIEL de NEIGE, trained by Willie Mullins, and the mount of Jody McGarvey for J.P. McManus. This one was third in the Fred Winter Hurdle at the 2019 Cheltenham Festival on soft ground. It was second in the Betfair Hurdle at Newbury last year, just caught close home off 135. And it's £10 better in with Advance Virgo for a 6-length beating last time out, where I feel, not last time out, the time before last, where I feel that it was being gradually built up towards Saturday. And last time out they ran it in a maiden hurdle, because amazingly this horse, who's run so many good races in big handicaps, was still a maiden. So they found a little maiden hurdle for it at Limerick 40 days ago, heavy ground, and it absolutely trotted up. It was just embarrassing. It was no more than an exercise canter. Now I think CIEL NEIGE has been laid out for this race. I'm sure loads of horses have, but the way it won last time, it beat modest opposition, but it beat them so well. And given the swing at the weights with Advanced Virgo, the 10 to 1 each way on offer for 6 places, and that is with Paddy Power and Betfair, I think is a fair price. It may well go a little bigger, but I think CIEL NEIGE is going to be well supported overall for the Ladbroke Hurdle at Leopardstown at 350 for Winnie Mullins and Jodie McGarvey. And then on to Sunday at Leopardstown, loads of great races there, including the Juvenile Hurdle at 140. And this is a race in which one of my anti-post selections, Hador, also trained by Willie Mullins, is set to go. So if you want to follow the anti-post advice on this one, check my January the 16th bulletin, and that will take you to why I think Hador has got a massive chance in the Triumph Hurdle. But obviously it will have to run a really good race on Sunday. Yumdor, also for Willie Mullins, is a big danger, and Quilixios is unbeaten over hurdles, but I'm expecting Hador to hopefully enhance its claims in that race. But it's not a horse that I'll be backing on Sunday, because I've already betted for the anti-post, which you might want to take a look at. The one selection on Sunday is in the 410, the Leopardstown Handicap Chase, 2 miles 5.5 furlongs. Again, a very, very hot race with big money up for grabs. JP McManus has got 7. Michael O'Leary's Jigginstown House stud has got 6. Gordon Elliott, Willie Mullins and Henry de Bromhead all saddle 4. So it's a real puzzle, but at probably pretty big odds, I'm going with a horse trained by Paul Nolan and owned by JP McManus called FITZHENRY. Now this horse has only won 2 of his 25 races, but he's run so many really good races in big handicaps. 3rd in the Paddy Power Chase in 2018, 4th in the 2019 Punchestown Grand National Trial, 2nd in the Troy Town Chase in late 2019 at Navan, beaten by Chris's Dream, who is high class. Then I'm sure many of you will remember, because it was one of the most memorable commentaries in recent memory, the 2019 Paddy Power Chase, which Roaring Bull came from nowhere to win, and Jerry Hanron nearly exploded, and it caught FITZHENRY on the line. He was mugged on the post. And then it was 6 at the Cheltenham Festival in March, 6 to 23 in the Fulk Warwin Kim Muir. So it loves a big field. It loves the rough and tumble of these 20+ runner handicaps. It's had 3 quiet runs this season, one of them over hurdles. But last time out, 7th of 22, staying on steadily in the Paddy Power Chase once again at Leopardstown in December. And I think that FITZHENRY has a sporting chance. No odds on offer at the time I've been looking through the form. I'm guessing 20 to 1 at the very least. It may well be bigger. You can bet it each way, and there are some firms offering 6 places. So check it out. Get the beds as you can, 20 to 1 and upwards for FITZHENRY in the 410 race at Leopardstown. So a lot to take in there, and I hope a few of them or all of them will give you a very big run for your money, because some of them are pretty big odds. I think JP McManus will have a great Dublin Festival at Leopardstown, and I'm hoping our runners at Musselburgh and Lingfield as well on Saturday are going to do themselves justice. For now, that's it for this bulletin. Take care, look after yourselves, and join me again next week, where I'll be pawing through the form and bringing you more great value tips here at Sportsbet TV. Bye bye for now.